my name is Karina Barbosa, and this is my video for the love of public libraries and independent bookstores. So I visited two places. One was Blue Willow Bookshop here in Houston, Texas. One of the things that struck me right off the bat was how vibrant and colorful this place was, which is amazing. At the very entrance to the door, there's all the children's books, and they actually have the little stuffed animals on the ends of the bookcase, which I thought was really cute because they were directly related to the other books on that shelf. On the right-hand side, you see that right next to the doors, there's this very visually appealing display, and it just makes you want to open up the books and take them home with you, especially aimed at the children, and it's actually smaller so that it's right at their eye level, which I thought was really good and keeps in mind who it's intended for. On the left-hand side, one of the things I really liked was that when you're going into the different sections, so you see that this is the personal growth section, books about the local history of Texas. Besides just being a very cozy place and lots of different signs telling you exactly what to expect, there's a chair so you can have a little reading nook to see, do you like the book? Go ahead and sit down. On the right, again, going with the stuffed animals, the Dragon series are super popular right now, so we have the Dragon series on the bookshelf and then stuffed animals for it. The same thing with Dogman, which this stuffed animal is Dogman, which is really a nice touch. The book club stuff is on the left-hand side, which I thought was really great because these are books that I've seen on the Reese Witherspoon book club, that are often on the Goodreads book clubs, and they're just very top-selling books. Like one of the books there was Lessons in Chemistry, which that was adapted into a TV show, and just everyone's reading it right now. I know because I am on a 10-week long hold for both the Houston Library and the Harris County Library, so they know what they're doing there. On the right hand side, I really thought this was cool because it tries to show, it has a desk there, which also has the books covered on it. So you can buy any of those books and they're on display for you, but it kind of is reminiscent as well of someone's writing desk or their reading desk, which I thought was a really nice personal touch. The left one shows that because it's a bookstore, they're selling other things besides books. So sweatshirts are a big thing, and it's just really integrated well, I thought, because it's right at the end of stuff once you've already been invested in your browsing. On the right hand side, I really like the way that they showcase the books outward because it's highlighting those specific books and then makes you want to look more onto the other shelf as well, which was, I'm definitely going to incorporate that into my own library. Same thing with here, really nice displays, and they're keeping with what's going on right now. The right-hand one shows stuff about the upcoming holidays. And then one of the great things too was, in addition to how it's set up super well, they have this big open space, and I ended up actually seeing a book reading because they were having like a fundraiser kind of thing where all of the sales during that week were going to an elementary school, and they had a teacher reading out a story to everybody, and I thought that was a really cool concept because it's set up right then and there. There's a space for the events, but when the events aren't happening, it's still just an open concept like that. I'm definitely going to be doing more reading with my own students because even though they're high schoolers, they also still really like being read to. The second place I visited was the Houston Public Library, the Kendall neighborhood one. Right off the bat, it's really interesting to me because it's not only a library, it's also a community center. So you enter through the first floor and you would have to go up to the second and third floor to the library. So this is actually the second floor, but it's just, you get 2 for 1. Both of those are great third spaces in the community, which I think is amazing. You can just go ahead and get information right away. I took a picture of the second floor, but the same thing is true on the first floor. Or you can just go ahead and start immediately browsing. Speaking of browsing, they had these little baskets, which you typically see at grocery stores, but they were here for your browsing convenience, and I really love that idea because I always end up with a really tall stack of books because I'm like, oh, I'm only gonna get one book. That is a lie I tell myself. That is a lie a lot of people tell themselves at the library. So might as well get that basket, and I just love that that was there. On the left, it also is showing the way that they're organized. It's very clean. It's also very cozy and welcoming. I also really liked here that they had little catalogs on iPad stands as you were browsing the books. At my own library, we only have the catalogs up near the circulation desk. There's a couple of different stations, but you have to come back to it. I do have QR codes so that the students can scan it and go on their phone, but I just really like the idea of having these iPad stands as you're browsing. The other thing I really liked on the right hand side was they had a printing station. Because if, at least for my library, if they want to print, they have to email a special address I set up for the school, and it works pretty well. However, do have to stop what I'm doing in order to help students print, which is fine, but I like the idea of them having a little bit more independence over that fact. So this was something I definitely want to incorporate into mine. They had really easy sitting areas just spread throughout, but also meeting areas, just kind of encouraging that third space of having the community come to the library. On the right hand side, it's not always the easiest to have your books of foreign language just integrate super well, but I thought that not only did it integrate super well, I thought that it was really visually appealing with the different languages and the bright colors on the second floor of it, because it was, you enter the first floor, second floor is adults, that's the pictures I was showing earlier. On the third floor was a children's area, but they also had a teen area, and I think that's really great because teens need to have their own area because they're in that really in between space. They've grown out of the children area, but then they might be want to go into the adult area, but it's also great for them to have their own, and I thought this was cool. And this is kind of what the teen area looks like. I took pictures. Those are the ones you see on the left where you can tell that that is their audience. And going into that area, you also see little activities that the children are definitely going to be into, the young kiddos, but that teens are also definitely going to be into as well, but maybe wouldn't respond to as well if it's just straight up in their area. They can take it without having, any pressure to do so, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I got a lot of ideas out of this, and I really like that this was an assignment because I love going to these places independently, but now I got to look at it with more of a critical eye. So thank you for listening.